Is live.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Test.
We're almost
Okay,
trying to get
Scott, can you hear me?
No.
Yes.
Scott, hello?
Scott,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to start the show.
Hey, everybody. Kent Marts here with FirstLight Chronicles. Scott, are you with me?
I am with
Scott?
you.
There's Scott. How you doing, Scott? Uh-oh. There we go.
Just fine.
So having a little teething. We're running a little bit behind. I have a couple of projects I was working on, and I was just couldn't get everything done in time to get here at 4 o'clock. So apologize for being a little bit late today. So, Scott, today we're talking about meteor showers. Now, this is a combination of just, I think, you have said there was a two meteor showers going on at once, the Ta Hercules, which we had all hoped would transform into a meteor storm here in North America, somewhere between 11 and 1, 8, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. the next day, the 30th to the 31st. And as you and I both found out, it didn't pan out. And it was so cloudy. I saw nobody from around here post photos. But Scott, we did have a dealer who posted some photos or sent me some photos in Virginia. This is Kevin Shank, who runs Looking Up. He runs Nature Friend magazine, and he ran some. His daughter, in fact, got some pretty cool photos. Let me show
Hmm.
you.
I just lost your audio, Kent.
Or you can talk to the camera. Go ahead.
So, going to talk this way and turn that off. Okay. So
Yeah, I
I'm
hear
going
you
to
fine.
try. Scott, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm getting a weird echo. I'll just push through. I'm here.
I don't know what you did.
I'm hearing myself about a second late. All right. So, okay, no, it's
Just
not
with some of the lag.
switching, Paul.
It's okay.
Paul, the PowerPoint.
There you are.
Okay. But the PowerPoint is not
Go
switching.
up to the top. Click up here.
Okay, there we go. Technology is great. So Cheryl Shank, who turned 16 the day before she took this picture, captured, this is still not the correct PowerPoint. There we go. All right, so there is a double bolide. It exploded twice as they were trying to capture the Ta Herculid meteor shower. And Scott, you've seen plenty of these, right? Scott? Okay, so we're going to go on. So on the right of the bolide, you can see a satellite going through the screen. And so she was taking a series of photographs twice a minute for, I believe, 20 seconds. And this is, I think, the bright star up there between the trees is Arcturus. And so we're going to go through these pictures. So you can, here's the next frame. You can see it
So
left.
you think that line is a satellite, not a lightning bug, maybe?
No, I'll show you. I'll get to lightning bugs here in a minute.
Okay.
That's a good question, but it shows up in multiple pictures, and lightning bugs are yellow. So
Yeah.
here we go. And when I auto fit these, they change the size and shape a little bit. So you can actually see some rotation. There's an airplane off to the
Yeah.
left. And you can see how the trail changed over time. So I'll go backwards. And speed it up
It's
a
not
little
often
bit.
that you see, a trail like this.
Yeah,
This
that's
is still glowing, and did it leave like a dark smoke trail afterwards?
I didn't ask him that. I think this is what it shows. And there's the last picture that they can see it. So anyway,
Right.
Cheryl Shank, Kevin Shank's daughter, Nature Friend
job.
magazine, captured these. Pretty cool. I asked Jerry to plate solve where this was. I haven't heard back from him. Right there in the dead middle looks like an M objects, but not sure what it is.
That star cluster.
A star cluster of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
It might be one of the different catalogs, but I'm going to guess that that bright one between the trees is Arcturus.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen some
job.
of those, sir.
I said that's a good job,
Yeah, and
Cheryl.
so here's a composite with fireflies.
Mike
Oh, wow.
Wiesner says Coma Berenices.
Comer Bernices.
Current Coma.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bernices.
Bernices. So I just don't know my minor constellations enough to be able to spot them. So obviously, Scott, the Morse code in yellow are fireflies.
Absolutely.
Very cool photo.
Beautiful.
And so you can see how those faint trails that you see all point back to what I believe is Arcturus. So those are going to be tall Herculids. The bright bolide does not point back to the same spot. And so I think those are from something else. So Kevin reported that
it's very easy to have a sporadic bolide,
Right.
at any time during the night.
Yeah, so, during the summertime, you can go out to say 5, 10 an hour if you just look and just have dark skies.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just pretty darn cool picture. Composite of just the ones that caught meteors. And what was I going to say about it? Anyway, so some of those point to the same radiant and some don't. If you look down there in the very bottom, below the bright bolide, there's another line that looks like it points back to the same radiant as the bolide does, which means that they may have been associated with an original one object. So I was hoping to get Kevin on, but he couldn't make it. So what are your thoughts, Scott?
Well, my thoughts were is that even though all of us did not see a storm, that we did get to see some great meteors, and to see a bolide like this and capture it is just amazing.
Yeah, pure luck. But you make your luck by being out there, having the camera pointed up, and having the shutter open, and just programming the intervalometer. Take a picture this long and just keep doing it, doing 2 minutes, and do it for hours on end, and you end up with something, you hope. But I think the fireflies are pretty cool. And it looks interesting to see they're sort of, what, greenish yellow. And you look and count the flashes, they tend to be 3 flashes, 3 or 4. And so I don't know if that's a function of just the shutter time, or if they're a species that just shoots or flashes 3 times and then stops. So Paul is working on my computer right now. I don't have the exposures on here. I meant to put it on the time function and the lens and all that.
Sure.
So
What do you need to do? Next slide.
there we go. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is, this is FirstLight Chronicles, and for people who really want to get a deep exposure to what all we do, it's a great idea to spend September 21 through 25 at Oracle State Park with us
Yep.
at the David H. Levy Arizona Dark Sky Star Party.
You need it? You go.
Yep.
Hit it.
So
You need the next slide?
that's the last slide. So Scott, tell us about what's going to be going on.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have birding going on. Of course, we have astronomy happening. We will have a lecture series happening on Thursday at the Biosphere 2 for the attendees that are coming. So we're still getting speakers lined up, but some of them include people, of course, David Levy's, Stephen Edberg, who is from the JPL, NASA JPL laboratory over there, where he was working on Cassini mission, and he was also working on an interferometry mission, the Galileo mission. So just a really wonderful speaker, and someone knows a lot about our solar system. He's going to be there. We've got other speakers. They'll be there as well. Vivian White from the Night Sky Network is supposed to be there, and we'll be putting all of our list of speakers on the website. So if you go to the events page on explorescientific.com, you can find it. So I'm real excited about it. And the site is beautiful. Oracle State Park is really a gem of the Oro Valley, and so I think you'll love it. You can either camp on site or you can get a room at the Biosphere 2. So we have that available. You'd be staying in one of the casitas there. It's kind of like dorm, or actually Mike Wiesner visited the casitas, and he says it's more like an apartment. Each room has its own door with locks on it. There's like a couple of bathrooms within these casitas that might have anywhere from 3 to 5 rooms. The Biosphere 2 is only 10 miles away. It's also dark there, and if you're staying at the casitas during that time, there's a place even to set up your telescope. The Friends of Oracle State Park and the Oracle Visitor Center are trying to put together more or less like a festival with artists, with musicians, and getting the local businesses involved in it. So it should be a lot of fun.
So, Scott, when you say camping, we're not talking about haul your RV and go glamping, right? Glamorous camping.
No, this is like tent camping, like we used to do at the Riverside Telescope Makers Conference. Not too many RVs were there, but there are places where you could go and bring an RV and RV parks, but you're going to be driving in and out of the facility there. When I say the facility, I mean the Oracle State Park. The thing that's going to be cool about Oracle is that we do have an area with power. There is the Kennelly Ranch House where we'll have some activities going on. So it's going to be nice. It's very welcoming to the amateur astronomer there. And let's not forget that this is Arizona's first state park to be anointed by the IDA as an International Dark Sky Park.
So I haven't looked at what's the weather like in Oracle weather in September. It's going to be nice. When we were out there,
nice, warm,
Yeah. The high is 86, the low is 62 in September. So going to be really nice weather.
Mm-hmm. So, I've been to a lot of star parties. Golden State Park is another great star party that we've been to a few times. A lot of tent camping there. You can learn a lot about tent camping from the people that do the Burning Man Festival. They know how to make themselves comfortable. We visited one tent area, which was a tent within a tent. They had a large tent covering like 2 smaller tents, and the large tent opening had a bug spray, like a pump, and that went into flexible tubing that had venturis all the way around the opening. Golden State Park, when I was there, it was over 100 degrees during the daytime, and when you walk through this opening, the temperature felt like it cooled down about 20 degrees. Inside of it, it was just really cozy and beautiful temperature and all of that. And they were powering their own systems with solar panels, and it was pretty cool.
Now, Scott, you said bug spray. It's not bug spray coming out of that. It's pumped up water. Right.
Yeah, bug sprayer though. Like you're pumping it up and it adds pressure, and you just have the venturi sense, so it's just like this fine mist coming out.
It's going to be dry, which means evaporation is going to be really nice. You get a little mist and it cools you off. But we were down south at Karshner Caverns 3 years ago, and it was really nice during the day and perfect at night. So 4 beautiful
Yeah,
nights.
and so this is not very far away from Karshner Caverns, and
Right.
you remember what it was like. So.
Right, right, just beautiful. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be cool. The camping area has restrooms available right there. I believe it's showers and restrooms. Is that correct, Scott? I think
No
it's
showers.
No showers,
Uh,
restrooms.
No showers. There will be restrooms there, so you'll be dry camping, if you're staying there like that.
Right.
And
So
if you
bring
want to
water.
get a room, again, it's only 10 miles away. We
Yeah,
have
it's not that
80
bad.
rooms available.
The price is $512.
Yeah,
think-
for the entire time,
That's
which
for
basically
a
ends
room.
up being around $120 and change,
Yeah.
something
That's
like
a
that.
bed a day. That's for a bed, and the bathroom and the facilities at Biosphere.
Right.
$120
So
a
you got a
night.
shared kitchen. You might be sharing bathrooms. The boys and the girls have to decide which one's the boys' bathroom, which one's the girls' bathroom. But it'll be kind of like family living. But at night you have your own lock on your door. It's like I think it was combination lock type of thing that you would get in and out. So.
Now, reservations are going to be through us. You don't call
Right.
Biosphere to make a reservation.
No.
So if you're wanting to come, and this will be a great opportunity if you've never been to a star party, to come to an excellent one. And it's going to be small, intimate, not hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. It's going to be much more limited than that. What was I going to say? Food, you're an hour north of Tucson? Roughly.
Oh,
So-
if you want to go all the way that far to get food,
Yeah.
there is local food. There's restaurants in the area. I ate at a couple of very nice restaurants. One was by this really cool zip line that you can go up into Mount Lemon with. There was a great Mexican restaurant. I love Mexican food, so really enjoyed that. But if you want to go into town, you want to go to Tucson, it's 45 minutes, an hour away. The thing that's cool is that Mount Lemon blocks the city lights of Tucson. And Tucson is also a dark sky type of city, so the lighting is kept down because of Mount Lemon Observatory and Kitt Peak National Observatory is not too far away. So people will also they're getting a tour of the Biosphere too. That's going to be part of the package. And so I'm excited about that because I want to see Biosphere 2 myself. I haven't seen it.
So you didn't go there when you were there?
No.
Come on, Mike.
I was mostly
Wiesner.
concerned with how dark it was, and we found out it was really dark. We could see the Gangenshine, we could see the zodiacal light. The Milky Way was a storm cloud. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Lots of great places to set up your telescope. So we're happy about that. And I think with musicians, local artists coming in, local businesses wrapping themselves around to this, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it for sure. So that's what I've got today.
Okay, all right. We got, of course, our audience here. Let's recognize them. Martin Eastburn from East Texas is watching. Paul Burgart from Rainy, Kansas. Pekka, he says, howdy noon, and good afternoon, fellows around the world. Sentil Nagapan's watching, says howdy. Tarek from the UAE is saying howdy, all from Ajman. And Mike Wiesner saying howdy from Oracle. Okay, so that's great. Let's see, I think that Pekka had a question. He wanted to know if there was standard size from the industry for a counterweight rod? And the answer is no. No standard size that I'm aware of.
That would be too easy,
And
Scott.
Josh wanted to know, was there a global star party last night? No, there was not. Kent and I came and talked about that we wouldn't be having one because I was sick the last few days, so I was kind of out. And then we had a national holiday here in the United States, and so I didn't figure people were really ready for that. So,
Well, and people think, you may not realize, it takes a couple, 3 days of serious effort by Scott to line up the theme, the speakers, build all the posters, send them to the speakers to put out on their social media feed. So it's a task, that doesn't just happen.
It's a real star party. We're having a real star party every week. The advantage of what we do is that you get to see astronomers from around the world. We are broadcasting into homes where some people, even though we're getting out of COVID and you're able to go to real star parties and all the rest of it, there are still people around the world that cannot do that. They might be observing from their backyards, but for whatever reason, they may have to stay at home. And if that's the case, we're really happy to bring the star party to you with Global Star Party.
It is an amazing thing, and people miss it when it doesn't happen. But I'll tell you, it's not just like, okay, we're doing star party tonight. Scott lines up, 6 to 8 speakers, every single one, and they're not just...
almost a dozen speakers every time.
Yeah,
We've had as many as 30 speakers.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
that
a
didn't
lot.
just happen. That just happened. All right.
Yeah.
So,
And we're almost to our 100th Global Star Party. We've done it quite often. Our 96th event will be next Tuesday, and so we're just 4 more Global Star Parties away from hitting number 100. It will make it special. That's a promise.
100th star party. Wonder what we could give away. I bet there's
Certainly
something.
we're going to do 100-degree eyepieces, $100 gift certificates, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
All right, yeah. So more than just 100-degree eyepiece. So
That's
all
right.
So Scott, we also should talk about the Mount Wilson Star Party that is now up and live, and it's a very limited engagement, and it's already 1/5 full.
Yeah.
In
Let me
2
get
days.
the page for that.
So it's limited to 25 people, and it's going to fill up fast, it looks like.
It always does. We've done this a couple of times before. And so to get to the page, all you have to do is put in explorescientific.com/Mount Wilson. And so here, I'm going to put this link into chat right now. But let's talk about this event a little bit. Mount Wilson Observatory is a place where I used to volunteer. And not one of the big scopes, but I managed one of the small domes that was there and kept the scope running, and undergrad students would use it. But I had keys to the facility, so I could go hang out in the 100-inch dome when they were running the HK project, or come and visit what's going on at the 60-inch. Had many opportunities to look through both telescopes, and I will tell you that the 60-inch is the honey. It is an amazing amount of aperture to look through. It is a diffraction limited instrument, a masterpiece of optics from George Ritchie, and the image of Saturn is just etched. I mean, absolutely etched into my mind. I had good opportunities also to see Mars, where you could see, orographic clouds. You could see lots and lots of detail on Mars. You're looking at around 25 1,000 millimeters of focal length on that telescope, and so you get incredible high magnification views through it. I've seen color and planetary nebulas. I mean, like Technicolor. It's just incredible. The Orion Nebula is incredible through this instrument. I've seen globular star clusters in the Andromeda Galaxy with it. And then you're steeped in all this history. So that's just really amazing. You can see, if you're going to the webpage right now, you can see a group of us settled down, getting our portrait done in front of the historic 100-inch telescope. But it is the 60 where all the modern telescopes made today are modeled after. And so Harlow Shapley used that instrument to make careful measurements of globular star clusters in the Milky Way, and he determined that our sun was not in the center of the Milky Way, and he was able to measure the size of the Milky Way with it to a fairly accurate degree. And it's just remarkable. You will feel the history and the venerability of Mount Wilson Observatory. Tarek says, "You look younger in that picture there." I was younger, but not a lot younger. That was taken about 5 years ago, something like that. So
Wow, it was 2019. I was here.
Right. That's
So Mount Wilson.
2019. I can't recall exactly, but Mike, was with us there. You can see that. I can see David Levy on the right-hand side. Lots of my observing buddies from years ago are there, so that's really cool.
For those of you who don't know, Mount Wilson is east of Los Angeles, up in the mountains, 4,700 feet above sea level. Isn't that what right, Scott?
I'm sorry?
4,700 feet above sea level?
About, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Mount Wilson, I think, is a bit taller.
Okay.
Let's just double check that elevation.
Maybe it's 70, no, it wasn't 7,400.
I think that Oracle is at 4,700.
Okay.
This is about another 1,000 feet higher, 5,700
Okay.
feet. Yeah.
So it gets great coastal winds. Where does it get its clear skies from? Those coastal winds, the stability brought by the ocean.
It's really about the stability, and the shape of that mountain was really critical to that. They took a long time and many telescopes, and so it turned out that when they did finally build out Mount Wilson Observatory Complex, they had to, Pasadena was a small town. They had to bring things up there by mule and by tractor trucks, which they did have some trucks at that time. So there's some historic photos that you can see on the website itself that show the 60-inch tube assembly being mounted onto a truck and getting ready to be installed. It's just it's a wonderful instrument. The 60-inch is probably one of the most productive telescopes in the world. It has been used almost every clear night since it was installed. I think there might have been a brief period during World War II when it was not being used as much, but it was, it's been a workhorse and just a really beautiful set of optics on that telescope. And so I hope that you come.
All you gotta do
Now,
is
I didn't talk about Huntington Library. Okay, the Huntington Library is in San Marino, which is just right outside of Pasadena, and the Huntington Library is a botanical gardens. It is a research library and an art museum, and it is just really beautiful. But I did not realize after, starting to research what was the connection between Henry Huntington and George Ellery Hale, and they actually worked together to preserve the scientific manuscripts and stuff. Some of these manuscripts go all the way back to, I guess, Ptolemy. There's manuscripts from Copernicus, Isaac Newton, Edmund Halley. He was just a rabid collector of amazing manuscripts and stuff, as well as art. So thank goodness this was all saved and preserved. Part of it, probably most of it, is at the Huntington Library, but I think some of it is actually at Caltech.
And the gardens.
The gardens, amazing. There's 130 acres for you to wander around, and they have a desert gardens, a bamboo forest. They have a Japanese garden, a authentic Chinese garden. I'd spent a lot of time in China. I can vouch for that. And I spent some time in Japan as well. So it's just a really beautiful place that you can get lost in. There is also an option to upgrade. It's only $20 more to go on a group tour where you'd have a docent that would take you through most of the grounds and show you around, give you details of the gardens itself. So
It's going to be very cool.
yeah,
An awesome time planned by you, Scott. So go to the website.
a lot of help with the guys at Mount Wilson. So yeah,
Well,
and we
yes,
will
there
have
was
blood
to do the
lectures
work.
there too, in the museum. So that's still being put together as well. But and we'll try to do a live broadcast from there. Combining Global Star Party with this event as well.
So 2 things on your calendar. Spend a week with us in September and a weekend with us a couple of weeks later in October. So
Right.
Scott, what are we going to look at? We're going to have a lot of planets, right?
This is all about the planets mostly. I mean,
Right.
we've got, you and I were trying to figure out all the planets that could be seen in one night. I think that we were getting everything except for maybe Mercury. Is that right?
Mercury and Venus, and was Neptune on the list? I think Neptune. So I think it was
Yeah, Uranus,
Saturn,
Pluto,
Jupiter.
Saturn, Jupiter, the moon, of course.
Pluto.
The moon's we're
Yeah.
gonna look at the moon in detail. We're gonna save that for last because the moon's really bright. But seeing the moon with the 60-inch telescope will blow your mind. It is just
Now, Scott,
incredible.
it's going to be close a full moon.
Right.
So what's that going to look
Yeah.
like in a massive telescope?
I've done it before with the 60-inch telescope, and you will see gentle rolling hills, craters within craters within craters within craters. It's just incredible. Fault lines, mountains. You will not forget what the view of the moon looks like with this. This is probably going to be as close as most people are going to get to the moon in their lifetimes. Because most people don't use a giant telescope like this to look at the moon. But I will tell you, it's really spectacular. And
So
Jeff
what we need to do
Wise,
is,
Planet X.
yeah, and Planet X. So what we need to do, Scott, is for the next show next week,
Yeah.
is I will work on some focal length and eyepiece combination images of the moon to show what kind of detail we're going
Sure.
to be able to see. Because it's like a fraction of the moon's surface.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
to be very cool.
All right. Well, I think that's
All
all,
right,
I
so
have as well. So,
Yep.
all
All right,
right.
so
Well, thank you very much,
Yes,
everybody
sir.
watching out there, and keep your heads up, looking up at the sky. You never know when you'll see that sporadic bolide or whatever. Maybe a lot of us should start getting car dash cams and leaving them on, because that would be a great way to also to capture meteors and stuff, just like they did the Chelyabinsk meteor, that asteroid. I guess it was a tiny asteroid that crashed into Jupiter, Russia, into that time.
Same thing. Just a different planet. So, Scott, Clint Branham actually did that because of that. He's like, I need to get one, and he went out and mounted one in his car. Nothing.
Nothing yet.
We were going out, when we went back out to Lowell Observatory, when they rededicated Clyde Tombaugh's observatory and telescope.
Yeah.
And he got a pretty cool, well, if you were the driver, it wasn't cool, of a truck almost crushing a car right next to him. Yeah, all of a sudden the wheel just lurches over, and this car, how it didn't
Yeah,
get
he
hit
has
was
a Tesla,
just amazing.
so yeah, he was hit by it.
Well, that wasn't then. No, that wasn't then.
this
That
was
was in a
another car.
Subaru.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that video when he got hit by that truck going 80 miles an hour, rear-ended on a quarter panel, one of the cameras on his car had this, it was like a SUV, completely off the ground, airborne,
Yeah.
and the Tesla went, and then went over the shoulder and said, "I'm stopping."
I think it saved his
I
life.
think it
mean,
did.
see what's cool about Teslas? All the automatic stuff worked. The guy got hit big time. A lot of people would have freaked out, oversteered, punched the gas, whatever. And this thing just slowed down, pulled off to the side of the road, and that was it. And captured
Normally
all
what
the
happens-
data and everything. So this guy was busted. So.
Yeah. So, I grew up in the newspaper business, have been to a lot of wrecks like this, where the car, the Tesla, gets hit like this, and it causes to just shoot off at an angle. And where he was, he would have crossed a concrete median and gone in the wrong way into traffic.
Oh, yeah.
And the car
Oh,
just
well,
went,
he might
the
have
car
gone
just
into
went,
head-on traffic, right?
yeah, head on traffic, yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
And it just did that, then he just steered over to the corner. Yeah.
yeah.
It was
So,
amazing,
a
truly
normal
amazing.
car, you said a Tesla, but a Tesla is anything but a normal car, so.
Well,
I
a
was
normal
just
car would
reading
have shut
also
off.
about the Teslas coming out with their own robot.
Oh, and what's it going to do?
It's going to do all the stuff that you don't want to do. That's what.
I'm good with that.
So,
Paul's happy. He wants you to order one.
so
3.
you can order one. He'll cook your food for you. I guess he'll do everything, So, water your lawn,
iRobot.
Mow the lawn, darn your socks. I don't know. So,
Think you cook me dinner every night?
good.
Yeah.
Paul's excited about dinner every night for sure. Well, our hour is up, or shorter than our hour. So tomorrow, I'm going to have On the Wing. We're going to be doing
Okay.
some birds, some reader submissions.
All right.
And then Friday, I won't be here because I'll be probably about this time in St. Louis, Missouri for the
St. Louis.
Mid-States Regional of the Astronomical League
Right.
Convention. Yep,
Excellent.
yep. So looking forward to that.
All right.
And then
Well,
Plenty
thanks
of-
again.
plenty of astronomy, this summer on the agenda.
Mike Wiesner says, I hope the Tesla robot obeys the 3 laws of robotics.
Exactly.
We'll see.
What are
You
those?
better not make it turn red.
What are the 3 laws of robotics, Paul?
I'm not a robot. I'm not supposed to know
Yeah,
those.
don't mess up Paul's day. That's the first one, right?
Yeah.
Right. Don't steal
Exactly.
the car. Don't steal the Tesla. No joyriding.
Do,
I would send it in to this job, and then I could cook dinner. Think that would
Well,
work?
maybe.
if If you
Yeah.
wanted to.
I wonder I wonder how companies are going to deal with that. Oh, I can't come in today because I've got a headache, but my robot's going to be there.
3
I don't
laws
know.
of robotics.
Okay, yeah, this is Isaac Asimov.
Oh.
This probably needs to be
You've got it.
updated, but it says a robot,
A
may
robot
not
may
injure
not
a human
injure-
being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm.
That's
So
right.
like if you're going to walk off a cliff, it's got to stop you, right? A robot must obey orders given it by human beings except when such orders would conflict with the first law. And a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law.
That's pretty smart. Of course, if the robot develops free will, we're in trouble.
Yeah,
That's
because you
always
can
the
see how
fear.
free will has worked for humans.
Yes.
Worked great for me.
Yeah. On a global scale, not so much.
Yeah. Anyhow,
Any other comments, Scott?
I think they kind of tuned out on the robot thing, but let's see. Tarek wants to talk about cameras, I think. Cesar Barolo says, please put voice to PMC8 mounts. I need to win discussions to my wife. Cesar. Jeff Weiss says L high-res and Starlight Express CCD camera. So it's always
That must have been
next,
an answer to
the next
Tarek.
camera, right? Josh Kovacs says the whole book is about how robots use these laws and loopholes. Yeah. So I'm sure that once they're fully endowed with artificial intelligence, they'll be out thinking everything that we have. Tarek
do
says,
believe.
"Scott, you have a mount for my 10-inch RC. No, I don't. Possibly the G11 could do it though. That's you need to let me know how heavy
Yeah.
your 10-inch RC is.
Because that's 60 pounds of telescopes and camera gear. I think is our weight limit we set for it.
Yeah.
I do know that in maybe 200 years, dogs will be driving and holding jobs.
Good.
Okay.
I'm serious. Dogs are the next sentient being.
They're close now. They understand our emotions.
Yep.
They understand
Whereas
your
cats
words.
understand but don't care.
No, cats don't care. That's just
The difference.
that
So
they'll
Jeff
just
Weiss
eat you.
and 35-pound RC plus gear. If that's what it weighs, it's no problem. Yeah.
35, you said?
pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, that would.
G11.
G11, PMC8.
All right. It's 5 o'clock.
And something else I want to talk about is the Badlands Observatory. Let me see if I can find the blog that's on that. We did a
Do they have
special
bad scene or
installation-
good scene?
I'm sorry?
Do they have bad scene or good scene there?
In Badlands? I don't know.
Making a joke.
Oh,
Badlands but good scene. That flop.
Badlands, good sky.
There you
Let's
go.
see. Here it is.
Badlands.
Where's it at,
Wow.
Scott? Is
Here it
it?
is. New telescope control system. Let me share this blog. And you can see the setup that we did on this 2,000-pound telescope. We put together a special industrial version of the PMC8, which you'll see in a, it looks like it's enclosed in a green or a gray box. It's got special fans on it and stuff like that. But this is driving really huge stepper drives that you'll see on
Hey,
it.
Scott,
Yeah.
which blog is it? And I'll put it up on the screen.
Here, let me copy it and text you.
Put it in the chat. There you go.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Yeah. Is chat okay?
So,
Yeah,
you know, the issue
I can
with
grab it
this,
from there.
if the telescope is balanced, it doesn't
Mhm.
take much to move it. You know, but it's about, at that size, it becomes the resolution of stepper motors.
Yeah, and those stepper motors are so strong they could pull a truck out of a ditch. I mean, it's just really, you know, I mean, the stepper motors themselves are about this big around.
Whereas the stepper motors in our standard PMC8 system are size of an old camera, film camera canister.
Yeah. And even those are pretty strong.
Huh.
And so let's see if Paul can work his magic here.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the link.
I
Interestingly.
sent it to you in text on vMix.
My phone?
On,
I want
text
the
on vMix.
VMix. Ah. Scott's getting all knowledgeable. He knows more than I do at this point.
You know, when you don't know it won't do it, you can make it do it.
I never have used it before.
You see it now?
I'm looking for it.
He's trying to find it.
Huh.
Look at the bottom.
So,
Look
all
at
you
the
folks
bottom,
out there,
and you'll see a little bubble.
Yeah, it didn't quite look that way for me.
Work that way for you. All right.
try email.
Different. We'll do email.
I never have used the chat function.
Hang on, somebody's talking to Scott. So,
Okay.
he's
Let's
back.
see. I am back.
Huh.
I'm not seeing anything that
Here we go.
on my screen.
There you go.
Quinn, South Dakota. I was wondering if it was in South Dakota.
Yeah, Badlands is South Dakota.
Yeah.
So I've got the audio hooked up through the camera. That's just the camera, the audio that came with it, the
Yeah.
microphone. And that's why we're hearing every little sound. Because I don't know what happened to Kent's mic. He punched a button and
I
then
hit
he
up,
quit.
hit down arrow.
All right.
New
There we go.
telescope control system.
So there's your blog, Scott. And there's the gears, I guess. You see it?
And this is new. This is from May 22nd. Scott, can you see it? I've got it called up on my screen. Yes, it's showing up.
All right. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, so you can see
So-
the big stepper motor on the declination axis. Big black stepper drive. They're about 4 by 4 inches.
Oh, there it is.
I don't
It's
know a lot about the
the
telescope.
silver. So if
Sorry?
you look on it, that black thing coming up from the bottom, that's the exposed worm gear on the drive. Is that right, Scott?
Yeah, so you see the worm drive That's going into the shaft directly into the stepper motor.
Right. Scrolls, Paul, would you?
Yeah, hang on. I'm
So what telescope is this, Scott? Do you know anything about it?
I don't know anything about. I just said that I don't know anything about it. Hope to learn more.
Right.
We're going to have these people on to Global Star Party, hopefully by next Tuesday. There we go. All right, now you see the controller box. That box is probably 14 inches tall, something like that.
Wow. How heavy do you think that telescope
Instead of
is?
scrapping the telescope and trying to get something with a new controller system, they were able to pull off a 22-year-old computer system, replace it with this, and just for a few $1,000s, we're able to get it going.
It is a 26-inch Newtonian,
Pretty sizable.
built by Ron Divig and fabricated by him.
What do you
Yeah,
think something like that weighs?
He did not shirk on mass. There's a lot of mass to that mount. It's not going anywhere.
All right, well, Scott, we've got to get ready for On the Wing,
On the hunt.
or on the Hut, I'm sorry, on the Hut broadcast. So we're going to have to wrap
Okay.
this up.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for broadcasting this.
I appreciate your patience with my technical issues.
My pushing buttons. Thank you, Paul.
He does that with his microphones too.
Does he? Don't touch anything. That's right. All right.
It's okay, Ken.
All right. So, Paul, you
All right,
can wrap it
Thanks,
up.
everybody, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. There we go.